Okay, let's jump right into today's explainer. We're exploring a surprisingly simple language-based psychological strategy to tackle the immense stress of school avoidance. Today, we are looking at some really incredible insights based on the work of educator Laura Wheeler, and it all centers around this tiny, subtle shift in how we talk to children, a shift that produces absolutely massive results when it comes to their resilience and their attendance. I don't want to go to school. Man, we have all felt that visceral worry, the stress, and let's be honest, the frustration that hits the exact moment a child yells those words. Naturally, whether you're a parent or an educator, your first instinct is to play detective, right? We start looking for an underlying cause. And sure, sometimes that cause is super obvious. But other times, it just seems to be this sudden, highly concerning shift in behavior without any clear reason at all. And it leaves the adults who care for these kids feeling totally helpless and overwhelmed.
So, moving into Section 1, the school avoidance crisis, a growing cycle of anxiety. Because before we can even try to fix the issue, we really need to understand how this behavior so quickly turns into a habitual cycle for students. It's been kind of a perfect storm brewing over these last few years, hasn't it? And it's led to this remarkable spike in absenteeism that is profoundly impacting academics. You might be wondering, why now? Well, it's a convergence of a few factors. We've got an increase in parents working remotely from home, a well-documented rise in overall anxiety and mental health concerns among youth, and, of course, changing attendance policies post-COVID. Put all those together, and they've combined to make staying home easier and returning to the classroom so much harder. And the really crucial point here is that avoiding school creates a vicious, self-reinforcing loop. Just think about this progression for a second. A student avoids school, right? That immediately leads to missing academic work and detaching from their peer group. Then, that detachment, plus the mounting pile of assignments, generates even more anxiety about eventually having to return, which, in turn, leads to more absenteeism. It becomes this deeply ingrained habit that is incredibly frustrating for literally everyone involved. Okay, Section 2, preparing the support system through collaboration and adult regulation. Because successful intervention actually starts not with the student, but with the adults in the room. Because honestly, educators simply cannot teach a student who isn't physically or emotionally present in the classroom. Breaking this cycle requires a truly comprehensive effort. It takes deep, proactive collaboration across the child's entire support system. Parents are constantly juggling academic expectations while trying to support their child's mental health, and it is incredibly hard to know what to do in the heat of the moment. That's exactly why parents, school administration, counselors, and educators absolutely must be on the exact same page. And that foundation, it literally starts with us. To support a student struggling with anxiety, we have to regulate our own adult emotions first. We've got to approach the student with a very calm demeanor. We need to collaborate on a crystal clear plan before the student even arrives at the school building. And, super importantly, we need to communicate this plan to all classroom teachers and administrators so the student knows exactly when, where, and how to access help. Consistency is everything here. Which brings us to Section 3, the practice the and shift. This is a totally new paradigm for discomfort, inspired by psychotherapist Lynn Lyons, moving away from trying to get rid of a child's uncomfortable feelings to actually expecting and managing them. There is a really stark contrast here between our well-intentioned avoidance language and the true resilience-building power of practicing the and. Usually when a younger student is worried about being away from their parents, we immediately jump to things like, oh, it'll be fine. Let's get to class so we don't miss story time. We try to just erase the negative feeling. But check out the alternative. You are feeling anxious inside about missing your parents, and you are at school. It's okay to have those feelings and be at school. Let's go see what the class is reading. We explicitly state what they are feeling, add the word and then state what they are trying to achieve. It accepts the anxiety while still moving forward. It's brilliant.
Because here's the thing. It turns out that when adults offer quick emotional fixes like distraction, trying to remove all the barriers just to make the child comfortable, we are actually unintentionally modeling avoidance. And that can perpetuate the very behaviors we're trying so hard to stop. Managing uncomfortable emotions begins with self-awareness. We have to acknowledge emotions before we can manage them. By labeling the emotion rather than distracting from it, we show them it is perfectly okay to feel uncomfortable when others around you don't.
All right, Section 4, steps for student success and putting this strategy into action. Let's dive into the exact playbook for how counselors, staff, and parents can actually do this, whether it's in person or even over a Zoom call. Here is your exact step-by-step checklist to guide a student, and this is especially great for older kids who are developing independent resiliency. Step 1. Identify the emotion. I'm feeling worried. Step 2. Identify the goal. I have to present my project in class. Step 3. Bring them together with our magic word. You are feeling worried and you are presenting your project. Step 4. Support them in taking just one small step in the avoided environment. Maybe that's inviting a trusted friend to be in the room for their presentation. And finally, step 5. Acknowledge and celebrate.
But a quick heads up on that final step. Keep the celebration simple. Seriously, it doesn't need to be a massive parade. A handwritten note, a quick thumbs up, or just a positive comment acknowledging their courage and hard work is absolutely perfect. This simple acknowledgement reminds them that they faced a deeply uncomfortable situation, that their feelings are temporary, and crucially, that feelings are not always facts. Finally, Section 5, fostering a growth mindset and the long-term benefits of emotional self-regulation. Let's see how this immediate linguistic shift builds a really powerful long-term mindset. By taking these healthy risks and actually accepting that discomfort, students enter what we call the growth zone. Practicing the and perfectly complements teaching a growth mindset. It shifts a student's thinking entirely away from avoidance and moves them toward profound emotional self-regulation. Ultimately, this leads to a massive increase in their overall confidence. They learn that they can survive and even thrive while experiencing discomfort. You can really reinforce this growth by doing regular emotional check-ins. You see, anxiety often feels like a completely permanent state to a child. It's practically impossible for them to imagine ever not feeling anxious in that moment. But by routinely asking how they are feeling, or even asking them to name a few different emotions they're feeling at the exact same time, we help them realize that emotions are ever-changing states. They are not permanent realities. I absolutely love the simple wisdom of this quote, which Lynn Lyons actually has on a sticker on her office door. Feelings are only visitors, let them come and let them go. It beautifully captures the reality that we shouldn't let temporary discomfort take away our valuable life experiences. We can feel the worry, and we can walk through the door anyway. So, I will leave you with this final thought to spark your own journey today. Whether you're a parent, an educator, or just navigating your own personal challenges, how will you practice the and the next time a difficult feeling comes to visit? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I truly hope this tiny shift in language opens up a massive world of resilience for you and the students in your life. Catch you next time.